appointment, which we would have to bring both girls, but there's only one person allowed today, so I'm sure I'll be able to film, at least get a little bit, and I'll film as much as I can, but let's go do this. Okay, I just did my vitals and my temperature is 98 even. My blood pressure looks really good at 121/81 and weight gain is good. So my due date is April the 12th of 2021. So okay, so I just got moved to the actual exam room, so I'm gonna be examined in here. I just was in the, not triage, but just like the little, I guess when you first get here, you just check in and the nurse does your vitals and asks all the questions. And now I'm in the exam room waiting on the doctor to come in and get my appointment started. Oh my gosh, this is so strange. I've never been through a pregnancy doing anything like this. I mean, obviously this is the new norm, but it's definitely different coming to my appointment than the previous pregnancies with social distancing.
Tuck this in so I don't get you on your clothes. I'm just going to bring it a little bit flatter, just makes it easier to get your uterus.
About to listen to the heartbeat, so I'm excited.
Lots of movement.
Wow.
This is baby's head and abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
Got a little arm up there by the head. It's pretty consistent for dates.
Okay. So there's a lot of movement going on, huh?
Mm-hmm. Super. The trick is getting it to sit still long enough. Perfect. good.
Awesome.
So a baby with a heartbeat is as good as it gets at this point.
Yes. So there he or she is. It is just one baby. And everything looks and sounds great. Wow. It's always such a relief to hear the heartbeat and see your baby. So I'm glad I got to do a little ultrasound today and actually see the baby. Lots of movement. So now I have to go get blood work, just standard blood work, pregnancy blood work, and then also some chromosomal testing because I am over 35 and I fall into the risk of advanced maternal age. So it was nice to hear advanced maternal age instead of geriatric pregnancy this time. So after my appointment here, I'm gonna go down to the lab, do my blood work, and also she did put in a prescription for some vitamin B, I think, to help with nausea. So I'm excited for that. So it should help me feel better on the days that I'm just not feeling my best. And by the way, these are not my vitals. This was already here. So I do not have high blood pressure. My blood pressure is normal. It's 120/80, so not mine. Oh, this looks so good. I'm starving. This is some leftover chili that I made on Saturday in the crock pot. So it's slow cooker chili with some organic grass-fed lean ground beef, some kidney beans, some black beans, and some pinto beans. And I've got a little bit of Mexican cheese and some sour cream. Okay guys, so I'm back home from my appointment. Everything went well. I thought I would give you a little bit of an update since I'm back home. So after I left my actual appointment, I went straight to the pharmacy to check in to get my prescriptions that my provider put in. She did prescribe me some B6 and some Zofran. I'm only gonna take the Zofran if I'm having those really, really rough nausea days, which I've only had like a few where I just really couldn't move. I've been very nauseous this entire time, this entire first trimester. Every single day I wake up, I'm feeling nauseous in the morning, and then sometimes it's really bad at night. So I'm glad that I have this, but she did say that the B6, vitamin B6 will be helpful. So after that, after I put in, checked into the pharmacy, because you have to check in first, I went to the lab just down the hall, and I did get my blood work done. So the blood work that I have to have is just standard blood work for pregnant women, but also because I'm advanced maternal age. And I did appreciate her saying that. She said geriatric, they don't use the term geriatric pregnancy at this hospital. So I'm very glad, because I really just, I don't know, in a way it's kind of demeaning. I mean, there's nothing that says geriatric about me. I'm far from the geriatric age. I mean, no offense. It doesn't describe me being a 37-year-old. So I'm advanced maternal age. So any women that are 35 and over and who are pregnant are considered advanced maternal age. And so that's where they also like to do a blood work to test for chromosomal abnormalities. And it's a diagnostic testing. So if those were to come back, that something was wrong, it would actually be a diagnostic blood work. So praying for good results, good news on that. I don't foresee that being an issue. So I'm waiting for those. I was going to, now being over 35, I do have to get my glucose test earlier. That's something usually you do at 20 weeks. I remember doing that at 20 weeks or 24 weeks, somewhere in my second trimester with my first pregnancy and with my second pregnancy. But since I am over 35, they do test your glucose sooner. So I had an Uncrustable PB&J before I left the house. All I've had today was a bowl of cereal this morning when I woke up. and I had to do Paisley's remote kindergarten class. Then I had a meeting with her teachers after that from like 10 to 10:30. So I literally had no time to make anything like eggs or anything like that. I was starving by that point. I just had to grab something and go to my appointment. Luckily, we only live 5 minutes away from the hospital, barely 5 minutes. It took me literally 4 minutes to get there from my driveway to the hospital. So I didn't even think anything of it. I didn't think that I would be doing a glucose test today. I knew I was going to be doing blood work. I did not know I was going to be doing a glucose test. So the lady at the front desk did ask me, had I eaten this morning? And I did tell her that I had a bowl of cereal and that I had a peanut butter and jelly Uncrustable right before I came in for my appointment. She's like, oh yeah, you're going to want to come back tomorrow because the sugar in, jelly is going to flag and spike your blood sugar. So that would I probably would fail that if I would have taken it and would have to come back for the 3-hour test. So my plan is to hopefully come back in the morning. They open at 6:30. I'm going to try. It's going to be hard because I might have to take the girls with me since Will has PT. So taking them to the hospital with me at 6:30 a.m. Luckily, I would just be going into the laboratory, but I'd have to sit there for an hour to do this glucose test. So I would take the wagon. That way they could just be in pajamas, fall asleep. I'm hoping to maybe get a sitter, but if not, I'll have to take them with me. But I want to get this done early in the morning because I have to fast. And I don't feel good when I don't eat, and that makes the nausea worse. So, and actually I was getting my blood drawn. There was another pregnant mom in there, and her husband, they had a fan on her. Her husband was rubbing her back and she was vomiting because I think she had also done her glucose test and blood work, and it just affects everybody differently. So poor thing, she was not having it easy. So my next appointment is 4 weeks from now. So I'll be going late October for my 16-week appointment. But everything was great. My blood pressure looked great. My temperature was right at 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So normal temperature, did not have a fever. My blood pressure was 121/81. I've never had high blood pressure. I usually have pretty healthy pregnancies. So blood pressure looks great. Everything looked great. There was no cause for concern. She did not say I was high risk. I am not pregnant with twins. I had thought for the longest time, I started thinking the last couple of weeks, I'm like, maybe there's 2 in there, but I've heard, sometimes babies can hide, but I'm pretty sure there's just 1. And she did print out this sonogram picture for me. So I'm really excited because I was not expecting to actually get a sonogram today. But she did say that it would be a little easier to hear the baby's heartbeat. Next time we'll probably just do the Doppler. And so, yeah, I'm so excited. I got to see the little babe. A lot of movement going on, strong heartbeat. So I've gotten a lot of questions if I think this is a boy or a girl. A lot of people seem to think this is a boy. I am unsure. You always have that mother's instinct. I've had a dream. I've only had one dream so far in this pregnancy, and I dreamt that it was a girl. But I have not really had any, gut feelings as to it being one or the other. I'll be happy either way. I love being a girl mom. I would love to have another girl, and seeing all of the clothes. I've saved everything from when my babies were babies. So everything from Paisley got handed down to Avery. And then if this one's a girl, she will get to wear everything that the girls got to wear. It's kind of a tradition. So, I would love that. But I also would love a boy too. I don't know. I'm not going to say absolutely this is the last pregnancy. More than likely it is. I do also still want to adopt. So that's always going to be there. So having another child through adoption is probably also going to happen. So I'm preparing this to be my last pregnancy. I'm going into this, with just enjoying every moment. It's hard to enjoy the first trimester because I feel not my best, but I'm taking it in, I'm enjoying it, I'm documenting this, and I'm so excited to document this because I did not document my first 2 pregnancies, and I really wish I had, because I love thinking back to those times, and I wish I could just go back for a day. And if I had documented it, I could go back for a day and watch it and just relive everything. So I'm just excited that I get to document this. But everything is looking great. So I'm going back tomorrow for the glucose test. So I'm going to take you guys along for that. So I will see you in the morning. Oh, and in case you're wondering, yes, I did change my clothes. I mean, I was at the hospital. I mean, ever since this pandemic, when I go out and the clothes that I actually wear out, I come home, I immediately take them off, put them in the wash, and put on fresh clothes. Of course, I wash my hands first thing, and then I just put on clean clothes. But especially being at the hospital and having to sit on different surfaces, not even in just one office, but I mean, I sat in 2 different rooms, and that OB clinic, I sat in the waiting room, which is social distance. They don't even have, they won't even let you in that clinic unless you have an appointment. So nobody can just walk in. There's somebody like outside of each clinic, you know, checking people, making sure that they're in there for the right reason. So there's just limited exposure to people. But there was, I think, 2 other ladies in the whole office, and that office looks so different. Normally it would have like a little play area for kids, because most people do take their kids with them to the appointments, but things are just so different. So I was in 3 different seats in just the OB clinic, and then I was in a seat in the laboratory in the waiting room, and then the actual seat to get my blood drawn in the laboratory, and then I had to sit in the, like, out in the open area where a lot of people are, at the pharmacy. So I sat in another seat. So I definitely wanted to change my clothes. So that's why I'm wearing a different outfit than I was at my appointment. Good morning, guys. It is 6:20 a.m. on Friday. Today is Friday, September 25th. And I have my babysitter coming to just stay with the girls, because I'm gonna go straight to the laboratory. It opens at 6:30 this morning at the hospital to do my glucose test. It's a 1-hour test. Praying all goes well. I've never had an issue with gestational diabetes. Never had an issue with like my sugars before. So I'm expecting things to be a-okay this time. So, but the glucose drink is not fun. It's like the thing I look forward to the least in my pregnancy. If I could just skip one thing, it would be that. I'm so bummed because it rained. I got woken up in the middle of the night because it was raining so hard, and I had planned to take announcement photos today so I can announce my pregnancy to the world. I had a whole plan. We're gonna go to a rose garden and everything, but the rain is literally ruining my plans. So we'll see how it looks later. Super quiet this morning. Nobody's here because it's like 6:43. So I
It's been there for a while. Okay.
Okay, let me turn the air down. So I'm back in my car. It's 6:57. I drank my little glucose drink, and if you've ever had that, if you've been pregnant, you know how unpleasant it is, and it does not taste good. You have 5 minutes to down that whole thing, and I did it in, I think, like 2 minutes. So I've gotten better with it. The first time I ever took it when I was pregnant with Paisley, I think it took me like the entire 5 minutes. Like I had to ask how much time I had left, and I think I literally had like a minute and a half left, and I had to just suck it up. The second time it was much easier. This time I just got over with this drink, though. This time was not even good. The last ones that I had are like at least flavored like an orange or grape. This one was just like a plain, oh my gosh. So I'm allowed to, leave the, not the premises, not the hospital grounds. I could leave the laboratory. I didn't have to sit in the office for the entire hour. So I got a little slip of paper and with all the instructions, and cover up's got some information, so I have to cover that up. So here's my instructions, and of course no gum, no candy, no food, Only small sips of water. If I throw up, they have to void this whole thing, and I think they'll have to contact my doctor and I'll have to come back and do it. So I came to the car, so I didn't, because it was just really humid this morning. It's been raining, so I just feel like it's really humid. And I needed some air. I honestly needed a blast of cold air to my face to make me feel better. And then just trying to wear that mask and breathe through the mask, sitting there for an hour, I was like, ugh. So I'm back in my car. Luckily, the expectant mother's parking is like literally right here by the walkway to the entrance of the hospital. So, because I don't have an umbrella, because my kids, who knows what they did with it. So I can just quickly go inside. It's really quiet in the hospital. I have been at the hospital when it's been this quiet, but it's amazing how vastly different it is at 6:30 a.m. versus like 9:30 a.m. It's gonna be swarm packed here in a minute, but yeah, it's 6:59. I have to return at 7:42, and then I get my blood drawn at 7:47. And then after I get my blood drawn, I'm free to go. I'm free to eat. I brought a Gatorade Zero with me because I haven't had anything to eat or drink since I went to bed. It's like 9:30 last night. So I'm thirsty. That drink did not fulfill my thirst. It was so gross. I'm still frowning because the aftertaste of it is so disgusting. But I'm glad it's over with and it's done. And hopefully everything is good. See how quiet the hospital is? Like, normally it's like a sea of cars, but right now nobody's really here except the employees and some patients for various things. All right, it's 7:31. Oh, okay, so it's 7:31. I have to be back in the laboratory in 10 minutes. So I'm probably gonna head in just a moment. I also need to go to the ATM so I can pay my babysitter. She's literally just there for an hour, probably an hour and a half while the girls are sleeping. So they may or may not be up. I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go back in, get my blood drawn again today. Yay. And then I'll be done. Ooh, okay, guys, so it's a couple days later. I totally forgot to film an outro after I left the hospital the other day, but I went back in. I made it through that hour for my glucose test. I did not get sick. I did not throw up. I got my blood drawn, no issues. I was fine, and I felt so much better once I got home and was able to eat breakfast. So I will go over all of my blood work. I think I should know all the results at my next appointment, which will be my 16-week appointment, though I will be like 15 weeks in a few days at that point, but just the same. So I'll get all those results, so stick around. So thank you guys so much for coming along with me on my very first OB appointment with baby number 3, and I look forward to the next appointment. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys for my next appointment. Bye.